Welcome to The View. I am so glad to be back.
Welcome back.
My eyeballs are hanging out of their sockets right now, and I have nothing but teeth and chocolate in my mouth.
When did you exactly land?
Sometime yesterday night.
Oh.
Yesterday night, as Grace says. Congratulations.
So you have a little jet lag?
I think it's a little jet lag and just a little fatigue. I'm a little fatigued.
You should tell people, because, you know, just in case everybody didn't watch us every day next week, every day this week, but we know they do, right?
Yeah.
That you were there because of the opening of Sister Act, the musical in London, which you produced.
That we could see here.
That you showed us the other day, but you said that you never read any reviews.
I do not read the reviews.
No, okay, but as your sister, I did yesterday, and the first review that I thought was...
Speak to me, girl.
Okay. I will now tell you, this is from the London Telegraph. I will quote. There's a long thing, but here's the bottom line. I caught the show at the final preview, and the cheers and standing ovation at the end were both genuine and deserved. Whoopee, as they say.
Were you sitting there, Whoopi?
Variety, the show business paper, Variety Today, is a rave.
Oh, yes?
Yes.
Good.
So, you're in business.
Congratulations.
Well,
baby.
you know, you guys are a rave for me because I don't know where I'd be today without you. So I brought these for you.
Thank you, Whoopi. That's so cute.
These are the mugs that they are selling at the show.
Oh, there you are.
But I wanted you. I'm not. Remember, I'm not in the show.
But this is the new year's.
Yes, and this young lady
What is her name again, who you talked to yesterday?
Katrina Miller.
Yes.
Patina Miller.
Patina
Sorry,
Miller.
Patina. And she is just
great.
spectacular. It's fantastic.
Did you sit there, while it was going with knots in your stomach?
Not one.
Did you sing along?
Not once.
No.
You know, the great thing about being a producer is that you know everyone is doing the work. You've done all the stuff that you're supposed to do, which is to sit back and look and say, well, this needs to be tweaked. Or can we fix this or can we do that? But pretty much it's on the actors. And those actors, and Maggie Smith was supposed to come. She wasn't able to make it. She wasn't feeling good. But we would have been very, very proud of everything we saw.
Why? I mean, it's very strange that you don't read reviews. I mean, we always see, the shows that open on Broadway and the reviews come out at midnight and everybody... And you were not kidding that you didn't read the reviews.
Yeah, no, I also don't see my own movies, if I can help it.
Well, I don't watch myself either, but that's a whole other... But why don't you want to know if the show's a success?
Because I just figure... either it will or it won't be, and one person's opinion is not enough to ruin my day.
No, but five people saying...
Yeah, but
five people make it a success or a failure.
But here's the thing. 5 people can watch one TV show and say, oh, my God, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And then it goes into the toilet. Nobody does it.
Look what Edie Falco said yesterday. She said, if you believe the good, then you have to believe the bad. So she doesn't read anything.
I have no time for them. Show me a good, funny paper. I'm happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And congratulations to all those folks over there because they worked their tushies off. Now, President Obama gave a speech in Cairo this morning to, quote, seek a new beginning between the United States and Muslims around the world, saying the U.S. and Islamic worlds both have to drop suspicions, confront extremism, and heal religious divides.
Good for him.
Well, that's pretty much what Mandela said when he came out and said, okay, enough of apartheid, no more. Both sides have to do the work.
Sure.
Of course, I'm going to agree with it. I mean, it's predictable, but I do think that he's doing an incredible job. I mean, I think that what he's doing is enraging Osama bin Laden to the extent that the guy cannot recruit jihadists as easily if the world likes America. So he's doing a fantastic job in that sense.
Wait.
And these people who feel that he's apologizing, which is Sean Hannity's thing, I believe, I think are really off base. I think that he is on the playground of the world. And just like kids need to apologize when they hit somebody else, so
but
does
he didn't necessarily. I don't remember him saying I'm sorry, but it was more of a we could have done things better,
right.
And opening up the lines of communication, because it seems like if you want different results, you got to do something different kind of way.
Well, he stressed changing course, and he also he didn't mention the word democracy, which had some people kind of upset. And the freedom of the people and the will of the people, I think, is something that's always been important to our nation. But I think here's what I look for.
Democracy is a very American word, though.
What's wrong with that? I mean,
nothing. It's just that it doesn't relate to them. Should know your audience.
So you should only speak. You should curtail what you're saying to please people.
What was your point? Because I think you were doing something.
No, I think that there are things. This is what I look for, and I look for a balance. Okay, because he has by numbers been more openly critical of his own country than former presidents in the past right now. And what I would like that to be met with, and I agree with looking back and understanding where we have been and where we need to go. But I also think that he should be incredibly proud of what this nation has done to ensure the freedoms of other people around the world. And I think that needs to be as equally as expressed as the criticism of the past.
Well, he spoke eloquently about 9/11. Could I just say something?
Yeah. You have to know why he made this speech. This was not a campaign speech in which he has to brag about what the United States has done. The apologies, as you call them, were in two areas that he has done before. The fact that he wants to close Guantanamo.
Without a plan.
When we're talking about what he said, we're not saying he's going to sit down and talk to the Muslim world and say, let me tell you what my plan is. This was a speech which dealt with many areas, including Israel and the Palestinians and so on. It was not a policy speech. But the two things that he talked about were, one, Guantanamo, and two, his adversity to torture, both of which he has talked about before. Evidently, he spent weeks and weeks and weeks writing the speech. We can put in what we wish that he had asked. It was not a policy speech. It was an entire speech that said, we know your concerns, and we will try to come together, whether it's in a nuclear bomb or whether it's Israel or whether it's so. In general, it was a reaching out speech.
It is, but I think in some ways I feel as though and I thought there were great things that he said, like it has to be a mutual relationship. Street has to work both ways in terms of ditching stereotypes. What the Muslims think about Americans, what Americans think about the Muslim world. And I think that that's absolutely true. But why then, he continues to say things like, okay, everyone else, other nations have the ultimate right to use nuclear power, when the U.S., he demands we get our energy from a cucumber. I don't understand that philosophy.
Okay, I just want to, one thing at a time. I'll put my 2 cents in. We have been a country that has made some horrific mistakes in the past. Horrific. We have done... But we're talking about America right now. And Americans oftentimes forget that we sometimes have stepped into things that were not our place to do. We have maybe dropped bombs when we shouldn't have, to make very specific points when they could have been done differently. We have not always been a nation that has been on the up and up. So you want to say, you know what? Yes, I know this is not the greatest country sometimes, but here are the things that I can do something about. That's what I want to hear, because for the last 8 years, it has been as if we were all built up like those guys that take those steroids and stuff and walk around and going, we'll kick it.
And calling other countries' names.
And I think that, in part, his verbiage for the next little while is going to be very careful and going to be very studied. Now, whether he says democracy or whether he says socialism or whatever, this country, the greatest thing about America is that when we take a concept and we integrate it into our system, it becomes democracy.
But also, what he was saying in the things that were criticism are the things that many Muslims, and especially many jihadists or fanatics, are accusing us of.
But you have to separate
He has, and that's what he was trying. He was trying to say to them, we know why you didn't like us, and we're going to try to make it.
I don't think we needed to give them reason. I think
he didn't. Sherry needs to say something.
The extremists had their reasons for wanting to do us harm, regardless. We didn't need to give. It's not our fault that they hated us. It's not our fault here in America that the extremists wanted to bring harm to the United States of America. We didn't cause that. That
but you know what I like what he said? I like what he said.
This is
the main thing that he said, I am the president, and it is my duty to protect the American people.
Yes.
So he got that in there so that everybody knows.
That's in his job description. That should be.
But isn't it? But as we're leaving, I'll pose this question to you. sometimes when we as Americans talk about Muslims, we include jihadists in there.
Yes,
we do
do.
not make a great many do. This has been one of the problems that we've been sort of having to grapple with.
I agree.
That we don't make the distinction between the extremists who come in Catholic gear, they come in Jewish gear, they come in Muslim gear. Anytime you have one group that says it's only my way, they are the people we are trying to move away from.
There's a lady in the audience who probably is a Muslim. Let's get a shot of her. Because does that look like a jihadist to you? Look at that lady. A beautiful lady in a Muslim outfit. Am I right?
Again,
yes.
What we've discovered is
Those
that
stereotypes need to be ditched.
is that you cannot judge a book by its damn cover. So we will be right back with more Hot Topics.